iniquities. He's going to remember the covenant that he made with our fathers, and he's going to turn our captivity. It's got nothing to do with what these Caucasian people think about us or what their plans are. Doesn't matter. This is between us and our God, us and him. That's the way he's looking at it. But I will, for their sakes, remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their most high. I am Yahweh. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which Yahweh made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. See, you're now in a transition period. We're going from not being able to stand before our enemies to dominating our enemies. And in the transition, we're awakening. That's the transition. We're awakening as to who we are. We're understanding who our God is. No, it's not white Jesus. No, it's not. No, it has nothing to do with Christianity or Islam or Judaism. No, it does not. No, it's not the chanting of Buddhism or the gods of Hinduism. No, it's not. It's Yah. Very simple. It's Yah, the creator, the only true God. It's all about Yah. That's his name. Very simple, isn't it? Yah. That's who he is. He would not give his glory to another. We read that in Isaiah chapter 42. He would not give his glory to another. It's him, Yah. We are his people, the people of Yah. Isaiah chapter 42. Isaiah chapter 42 is very simple, isn't it? I love the simplicity of the Most High. That even a child could understand it. It's all about him and his glory. Yah. Yah has no building on this earth. The building was destroyed in 70 AD. No matter what they have built in its place, it's not the building. The Ark of the Covenant is not there. No, the building that we're going to next go in is a building not made with human hands. It's a building not made with human hands. It's a new Jerusalem made by Yah. Just like we have been made by Yah. We're in the transition period of awakening to Yah and understanding who we are in Yah and understanding the purpose of Messiah, who is there to bring us to Yah, and through him for us to receive the spirit of Yah, for us to be like Messiah in terms of our duplication, or replication, and representation of Yah. And he is our high priest to perfect us in Yah. Isaiah chapter 42. Last night we went through verse 14, and I think we must have went down to verse 16, but I'm going to start at verse 14 today. I'm going to start at verse 14 today. Notice what it says. I have long time, Most High says, holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. It's about to get loud. Brothers and sisters, the next couple of years, it's about to get real. You see, as I said last night, what we're noticing here, what we're seeing, which has been prophesied, is the reaction of Asatan, his angry, enraged reaction to what he sees and what he knows is coming. But he can't stop it. That's what we're seeing. Because when Messiah returns, it's going to get real. When he puts his spirit and seals us right before his return, It's going to get real. This is a dress rehearsal. I've been telling y'all that for months now. This is a dress rehearsal. This is a warning for us, telling us it's about to get real. You see, brothers and sisters, what most people don't understand is there are 3 appointed feasts in the Bible. Only 3, not 10. I've seen women try to teach there were 7, and some teach there are 10. It's unfortunate women try to teach from the word to men. You're not supposed to do that. Women could prophesy. There was a sister, man. I seen the video. When sisters prophesy, they don't realize what they're doing when they prophesy. They don't realize what they're doing. It's because it's an inspiration. This sister stood up and explained with perfect words, man, why everything is happening, what is happening, and what it means. And she cried after, and she was just speaking from her soul, but it was prophecy. Women could prophesy. When the Spirit of the Most High touches a sister and she just comes out, that's prophecy. But in terms of teaching and preaching, that's for a man to do, who is made in the image of Yah. Not for a woman. Woman was made in the image of the man. I'm trying to be real and honest with you from the word. So when I see a woman trying to teach me something, I already know she don't know what she's talking about. She's coming to me wrong. She's stepping to me wrong. But it's a lack of respect of who I am. I'm a man. And I already know she don't know what she's talking about. And I start to pray for her because I know she's in trouble. She don't even realize it. It's like me trying to teach Creator, trying to teach Messiah. Because Messiah and the Creator is my head. I'm the woman's head. Anyway, it's getting ready to get real. This is a dress rehearsal. It's a warning, and there were 3 appointed feasts. Why did I bring up the feast? There's the Passover, which is also the same thing as the Feast of Unleavened Bread, one feast. The second one is Pentecost, which happened 50 days after the first day, after the first Sabbath of the Passover, the first 7th-day Sabbath of the Passover. That next day, there's a 7 weeks count, and then the 49 days, and on the 50th day, which is normally a first day of the week, that's Pentecost. That's the second feast. The third feast is the Feast of Tabernacles, otherwise known as the Feast of Ingathering or the Feast of Harvest. In between that second and that third feast, there's a trumpet call, and there's a Day of Atonement. Many people mistake the trumpet call in the first day of the 7th month as a feast. It is not a feast. It is a warning trumpet call. It is a holy convocation. It is set aside as a Sabbath because it is a warning. What is it warning about? It is warning that 10 days, the 10th day, or 9 days later, the 10th day of the 7th month is the Day of Atonement. The Day of Atonement is the day when all sin is put away. That's what the Day of Atonement is for. All sin is put away. That's when the high priest enters the most holy place with the sins of the nation that have been confessed. And then they cleanse the tabernacle of all the confessed sins with the blood of the sacrifice. And they cleanse all the people of all the sins they have confessed. And they're wiped off the books of heaven. Day of Atonement. After the Day of Atonement, when the people have been perfected, 5 days later, on the 15th day of the 7th month, is a celebration. It's a massive party. It's the biggest party of the whole year. It's time to really party. That's when they bring out the strong drink and the wine, and they bring out the food, and everybody's dancing. That's the Feast of Harvest, the Feast of Ingathering, otherwise known as the Feast of Tabernacles, because that feast is also a reminder that we would no longer have to be wandering through other nations ever again, that we're home. That we're home. And that's why they brought palm branches, and they made booths out of the palm branches to just as a little model of the 10 states to dwell in when they went through the wilderness for 40 years. It's a reminder you'll never have to do that again. And that's why in Revelation chapter 7, under the 6th seal, There's a numberless multitude with palm branches in their hand. Make note of that. That's because they're celebrating the deliverance from this earth. We're celebrating the deliverance into the kingdom, and we're never going to have to wander again. It's the Feast of Tabernacles. But there's a difference. All the folks have them palm branches in their hands except one group of people. One group of people have harps in their hands. And that's why in chapter 7, there's a question there. Who are these in white robes? He's asking, there's a difference between these and the rest of the folk. Who are these? These are they that came out of great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white, the blood of the Lamb. That's the 144,000. They come out of tribulation such never was since there was a nation nor ever shall be. That's why they sing a song that nobody else could sing with the harps. That's also Revelation chapter 15. Okay. And so right now, the warning trumpet was given. There are many people that thought, and I understand it, they thought that the end was going to come in 2017. I think it was September of 2017. They thought the end was going to come. And they thought that because of the prophetic numbers they got by the feast, by the Jubilees, they got to 2017. They said, oh, the end is coming. No. That's just representative of the trumpets. 10 days later, 2027, the 40th Jubilee from Messiah, the 40th, 2027 is when all sins are forgiven. That's the 10th day. That's the 40th Jubilee. The 40th, the Jubilee, when it does happen, it happens on the same day of the Day of Atonement, the 10th day of the 7th month. When it's time for a Jubilee, that's when it comes to pass. The 10th day of the 7th month, that's the Jubilee. And it comes 9 days after the trumpet warning. So the first was 2017, 2027. That's when something's going to come off. That's when it begins. I believe at this point, my knowledge, my vision is not clear on it yet because Most High will reveal it as I need to know it. But at this point, I know that's when in heaven it's declared that the sins are completely gone and we will restore all land will be restored to us. That's what happened in the Jubilee. All land was restored to the original families. The original tribes got their land back. It's declared in heaven. Messiah will return very shortly after. Generally speaking, in time, it was 5 days later. That prophetically would be 2032. That's why I say there's not more than 12 more years left. So let them enjoy their oppression and running around with their guns and foolishness. They ain't got that much time left. It's almost over. And the preparation, that's a reaction because preparation is ongoing. And now we're knowing who we are. That's why I have this spirit on me that I don't care what they think anymore. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they're planning. I don't care what their anger is about. It don't matter to me now because I know who I am and I know what's coming. So it doesn't matter. It still bothers me to watch them do the foolishness, but I know in my heart it's almost over. Verse 15, I will make waste the mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools, and I will bring the blind by a way that they knew not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them and not forsake them. They shall be turned back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to molten images, ye are our gods. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, or blind as Yahweh's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. He will magnify the law. That's 42:21. Isaiah 42:21. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. That's what Messiah did. That's the true Hebrew Messiah. That's what he did. He did not do away with the law as the pagan Christian religion teaches. He did not do away with the law. He went to magnify. What does it mean to magnify? To make it clearer, to bring us closer to it, to make us more understanding. When you magnify something, you make the letters big, right? Magnifying glass, make the letters big, right? So he makes it more clearer. He makes our understanding deeper. He makes us understand more fully what it means. What does it mean? It means his spirit dwells in us and we become one with the covenant. It's not just looking at it and obeying it. It's written in us. We becoming one with it, like Messiah, who is the Word made flesh. The Word made flesh. He's the covenant in walking human form. And that's what he's trying to make in you and in me through the spirit of perfect righteousness. And I know it seems impossible, but that's why he's most high. Not me, not you, him the most high. If he can create something out of nothing, certainly. And if he says he's going to do it, guess what? He's going to do it. Our job is to believe him, which is half of our battles anyway. We don't believe the word of the Most High. We doubt it more than anything. I'm just being honest with us, right? I mean, we know we doubt the word more than we believe it. But brothers and sisters, we better get on the train and start believing, start trusting, start asking him for help that we can believe it. One thing that young boy said when he said, I just want to live, he said, God, protect me. That's what he kept saying. God, protect me. He didn't know the God he was calling upon, but he didn't even realize he was prophesying. He don't know the God that he was calling upon's name, but he will. He was only 12 years old, that boy. He's one of those that could be here at that time. Protect me is what he was asking. He said, God, protect me. That touched me because that's where our help is coming from. Government's not going to help us. Congress is not going to help us. The Senate is not going to help us. Yah is our help. Yah is our help. Don't trust in Egypt. Remember we studied here in Isaiah? He was rebuking our fathers because they was putting their trust in Egypt. Don't trust in Egypt. Spiritually, the Bible says this land is called Egypt. That's Revelation chapter 11, where the master was crucified. Why does it say where our Lord was crucified? He wasn't crucified in Egypt. You have to understand that's the spiritual Babylon we living in. And he's crucified every time Ahmaud Arbery is killed. He's crucified every time George Floyd is killed. He's crucified when Breonna is sleeping in her bed and the cops come in there and shoot her up. He's crucified every time where our master is crucified. That's what he's talking about. We need to realize, recognize. Let's continue. Yahweh is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. That's our job, brothers and sisters. See? Caucasian people worried about violence. If you understand the truth, we're not worried about y'all and your violent worries. Our concern is becoming one with Yah, Our concern is receiving the spirit of perfect righteousness for obedience, for his righteousness' sake, for his glory. That's our concern. Care about y'all. It's your business. You're gonna get violence. Like I said, when that Hebrew Messiah come in the sky, many of y'all gonna mess on yourself when you see he's a black man. You're gonna have a major problem when you see he's a black man. You're gonna have a major problem. Oh, I want to see your faces that day. I want to see it. Anyway, that's when you got to worry about violence. Because brothers, he's not coming, him and them angels ain't coming to eat bread with you. He's not coming for a peace treaty. In righteousness, he does judge and make war. That's what he's coming for. Verse 22, Isaiah 42, verse 22. This is the theme of today's lesson, actually, verse 22. But this, that's us, is a people, that's us, robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore. There are a people robbed and spoiled. That's us. They are all of them snared in holes. That's us. They are hid in prison houses. That's us. They are for a prey, and none delivereth. That's us. And none saith, restore. That's us. See, if people read the Bible for real instead of looking to white Jesus and these daggone fake white churches, Caucasian Christian churches, Christianity was started by our enemies, brothers and sisters. It's not in the Bible. It was started by our enemies. Sunday keeping was definitely, I can't say that was started by the Caucasians. No. Sunday worship and sun worship was started by Hamites, ancient Babylon, Nimrod and them, and Mizraim. They worshiped the sun. The Caucasians merely copied from them and stole from them what they did. Why do you think the Pope walks around with that Egyptian cross that he walks with? They stole everything they know. They didn't know nothing unless they stole it. That's why they're the lowest metal, the iron. They break in pieces and bruise and they steal. Verse 23. Who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? That's what happened to us. We were given for a spoil and to the robbers. Didn't I just say they break in pieces and bruise and steal? Didn't I just say that? Bible backs me up. If y'all just read the scriptures, it's all here. And I'm praising the Most High that we're going through this prophecy. I'm praising the Most High we went through Deuteronomy already and Zechariah already. We already went through them books. We went through Zechariah and Deuteronomy and Revelation and Daniel. And we're going to do Jeremiah next. I want to do Jeremiah next. I need to do Revelation again, but I'm going to do Jeremiah next. Because it's all in here. Whatever's happening right now, remember, prophecy is what? Past, present, and future. And we're living this stuff right now. Man. Right now. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not Yahweh, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Stop listening to Christians that tell you can't obey Yah's law. You're going to keep all 600 of those laws? Really? Stop listening to carnal Christians that don't know the power of Yah. Yah is your God, not white Jesus. Yah is your God. He chose your father, Abraham. You are his child. They were, because what? Neither were they obedient to his law. He wouldn't give you a law unless it was possible for you to obey. He would not give you anything. Yah doesn't give you any command to do unless he also gives you power to do it. He never gives you a command where you have no power to do it. He gives you a command and he supplies power to do it. We need to remember that. Wherever his commands, he gives you a power to enable you to accomplish what he's telling you to do. It would be quite cruel for him to give you something that he knew you couldn't obey. Quite cruel. And our Yah is not cruel. He's a God of righteousness and truth. Whenever man adds to or takes away from his word, it becomes impossible to obey because it's not Yah's word anymore. Therefore hath he poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. That's where we were. That's us. We didn't understand what was going on. Until this awakening, I didn't understand why. I can see it was happening. Like I said, from a little kid, I could see it was happening. I can see we were being dominated. I can see we had no power. I can see we were being oppressed and exploited. But I didn't know why. Why? I didn't believe that, oh, Ham is cursed crap. But I didn't understand what was going on because it seemed unrighteous. That's what was bothering me about it. It seemed unfair. Now my eyes are open and I understand. Brothers and sisters, that's powerful to understand, to know, to not be puzzled by this unrighteousness we see anymore. Neither were they obedient to his law. He poured the fury of his anger and the strength of battle. He set fire round about, yet we knew it not. We laid it not to heart. Well, the tide is changing. We're in a transition period right now. We're going from being the oppressed to dominating the oppressor. We're on our way to doing it. I'm telling you straight, and there's nothing they could do about it. And we're seeing the reaction of the oppressor to what he sees coming. He's reacting. God doesn't react. He has said the word from before the foundation of the earth, and his word is coming to pass. He said we were going to be oppressed and spoiled, and we were. We're going to do chapter 43 next, and you're going to see he also said it's going to turn around, and it is. We're going to stop here. It's 12:21 Eastern time in the DC, greater DC area, eastern coast of the United States, 12:21. I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back in about, let's see, I'm going to come back at 12:50, about 29 minutes from now. I'm going to return. I'm going to get something to eat, and then I'll come back and return, and then we'll start again in chapter 43 by the grace of the Most High.